I must start by saying this is at least the second time I've been in this beautiful hall, amazing architecture, and it has left me with a sense of peace and calm, but also the understanding of the kind of effort that has gone into creating these kinds of institutions. I've had occasion to mention this many times before, but the Christian missionaries in general, the Jesuits in particular, over the centuries, have contributed immensely to the development of our state, our people, primarily in the fields of education and health, but also through the fact that their approach to education has been universal and not narrowly focused on one community. They have created communal harmony by educating the children of all communities in these institutions of excellence. Institutions such as Loyola contribute to society. They set the benchmark because excellence creates its own culture, its own continuity, its own following, and it sets the bar for other institutions that follow. And in that sense, I think there is no more distinguished, at least in the field of arts and science, institution in Chennai. As alumni, many of us have always warm feelings towards alma mater, and in this case, the chapter is a way of bringing together those feelings in a way that increases the camaraderie between all of you, but also increases the impact on the institution, on future generations of students. I was happy to note the many initiatives outlined by the President, both in terms of alumni-centric, as well as helping the institution, the new incubator, and through internships, externships, and so forth. We are running a bit behind on time, so I'll try and speak as quickly as possible. I also have to be somewhere else, and I want to listen to my fellow speakers. But I'll probably expand on only 3 or 4 points. One is that we live in an age of great volatility. For most of us who study history or who had careers in the global economy, there was pretty much a secular development from the end of the Second World War till recent times. It was increasing universalization of global trade, of the economy, a dollar-based World Bank, IMF, WTO, UN, GATT, GAR regime, where in effect the US set the tone for the global benchmarks. But in reality, we were all kind of playing to a script that was maybe great for us, maybe not, but it was hyper-globalization. That started to fall apart probably, in my opinion, around the turn of the century, the first wave of the internet. Certainly the global financial crisis was another rupture. COVID was a third major rupture. And the current regime in the United States, with its desire to do muscular nationalism and disruption of free trade through the imposition of tariffs, has created probably the final rupture. So we are definitely in a new era. It is an era of transactional kind of relationships. It is going to be increasingly through bilateral, through multilateral, regional cooperation. Every day the world feels a bit different. I was asked to give a speech at the Rotary Conference in the Chennai World Trade Center on the 1st of March. Due to various events, I could not prepare my speech before. And it turned out to be a great thing, because had I prepared it before the 28th of February, the title was Towards a New World Order. It would have been irrelevant on the 1st of March, because overnight the bombing of Iran had taken place, and we're in a different world order than we were on February 27th or 28th. But it is an ill wind that blows nobody any good. I think that the old adage when I used to be a trader on Wall Street was that volatility is your friend as long as your floor is set. That is, as long as you're insured against worst case outcomes, then volatility is actually your friend because it creates opportunity and it creates it at a scale and a pace that the normal kind of progress doesn't. There's an old adage about there are years in which nothing happens and then there are weeks in which years of developments happen. We happen to be living in one of those times. In this world order, there is going to be a huge premium on innovation. Established patterns are already being broken, and because partially there is a huge glut of liquidity searching for opportunity, this coming of the age of AI is being financed and driven at a pace that the previous ones were not. And so every day, literally, we are seeing new frontiers broken, at least on the cutting edge of what is capable. Though it comes at huge cost in terms of capital, in terms of servers, in terms of energy, in terms of water, but the frontiers are being advanced every day. And in this era of disruption, some of the old things are back to being in vogue. In particular, I want to say that as somebody mentioned, our startup count has gone inversely proportional to the decline in traditional jobs. If you look at the IT service majors, they used to employ tens of thousands of new graduates a year. In the last couple of years, that is almost flat. But in Tamil Nadu alone, we've gone from somewhere around 2,000 startups to somewhere around 13,000 plus. A part of that is necessity. It is that the jobs don't exist. Part of it is government support. We create incubators, we create funding channels, we create mentors, we create all kinds of support mechanisms. But part of it, I think, is that in the age when technology was the kind of backbone of everything, from your car to your fridge to manufacturing processes, all of it was driven by information technology underneath. The role of the programmer and the developer was supreme. What AI has done is that it has actually broken this model and democratized development, because now you can get AI to write programs for you if you have clear enough intent. And so it is not only changing the field of employment, it is changing dramatically the field of entrepreneurship, and it is changing, starting from colleges down, the nature of education and curricula.
We eagerly look forward to your address this evening. We are equally blessed by the presence of our beloved fathers, Reverend Dr. J. Anthony Robinson, Rector, Loyola College Society, Reverend Dr. D. Thomas Alexander, Secretary and Correspondent, Loyola College, Reverend Dr. A. Louis Arrogat, Principal, Loyola College, Dr. Louis Albert, Director, Loyola Alumni Association. Dear fathers, your presence strengthens our bond with our alma mater and inspires us to carry forward Loyola's mission in our own lives. I must also acknowledge the unwavering support to the Jesuit management, which has ensured the smooth and successful conduct of this evening's event. I warmly welcome the distinguished speakers, Mr. Sujith Kumar, an alumnus whose journey from corporate leadership to social transformation through Maatram Foundation embodies the Loyola spirit of service. An active member of the Loyola Alumni Association and one of the most sought after speakers. We look forward to your reflections on the power of empathy, a subject I'm sure is close to your heart and is also close to ours. Mr. Mohan Raman, PD, also an alumnus whose contributions as an actor and film historian remind us that Loyola nurtures not only professionals but also cultural voices who enrich society. His presentation this evening on the legendary comedian Nagesh promises to be both insightful and delightful. I also acknowledge with gratitude our President of the Chennai Chapter, Mr. Karthik Sabhanayagam,
Reverend Dr. Thomas Alexander, the Secretary, Reverend Dr. Louis Arik Raj, the Principal, Reverend Dr. Louis Albert, the Alumni Director, Mr. Karthik, the President of the Chennai Chapter of Loyola Alumni Association, Mr. Balamurugan, the Secretary, and all the members of the EZ and GZ of Loyola Alumni Association, the faculty members, and my dear alumni of Loyola, a very good evening to all of you. As it was said clearly in the welcome address, we are just here to get connected. And this is the stage in which I feel the right time with the August gathering that we are getting connected well. And my thinking of this connection or my envisaging of this connection is far beyond just being connected among ourselves. It is also the connection that we have to have with Loyola College itself. Why? Because in my opinion, this college, this Loyola Arts and Science College has 4 verticals. One is the academics, second one is the research, third one is the placement, and fourth is the startups.